Hey everyone, Smitty here at Victorian Strength Club, back with another video. It must be a real low percentage of people in the world that need to consider what they say in an intro to a YouTube video and the panic that sets in and trying to be creative. Not a lot of people have to go through that, do they? Anyway, I'm making a video on nerves leading into a comp day nerves, nerves on the day, nerves leading into the comp. I received this message yesterday or today. So it spurred the thought for this video, just having a chat with this person and other people about nerves and comp day nerves. I wanted to put my 2 cents in. I thought of maybe the video could be something like 3 tips for dealing with comp day nerves. And I couldn't even think of 3 tips in ways to help you out. What I thought I'd do instead is share my views on it, share some stories, stuff like that. That way I don't have to put too much thought into it. I don't have to come up with 3 tips. I can just chat for a little bit. I'm good at chatting. So tip 1, or one of 2 things I could think of saying, was be nervous. Like if you're nervous leading into a comp, that's what you're doing. You're doing a comp, you're gonna get nervous. If someone doesn't get nervous, doesn't mean they're wrong. For me, I'll just talk about me, right? If I'm not nervous, it's because I probably don't care about it. So if you care about your results, or you care about, I don't know, performing in front of people, I know that's a big one for some people. That's just never been a consideration for me. I've never been nervous to do stuff in front of people. Maybe, I was good with speeches and stuff in high school. I still got nervous about it, but I could go out and give a speech. Obviously played in bands for 10 years, so playing in front of people, totally fine. 1,000 people, easy. Playing guitar and singing in front of 2 to 3 people, hated doing it, still hate doing it. Wouldn't even make me nervous, so to speak, but couldn't be comfortable doing it, right? So I'd choke up a little bit, or I'd sweat under my armpits. Still happens now. Anyway, we're getting off track. I just wanted to talk about myself, let you all know that I played in a band which used to be considered pretty cool. So yeah, just be nervous, right? If you're nervous, an analogy would be like, would you get upset at yourself if you got tired at 9 o'clock at night, if you got tired before bed, if you got hungry before dinner time, or you got hungry when you woke up before you eat? All right, nervousness, comps, they go together. So the first thing is try not to let panic set in and, oh my God, I'm nervous. Oh my God, I'm losing sleep. Oh my God, I can't eat. Just accept, oh yeah, there's those nerves, there's those little butterflies. When I think about comps, sometimes I go to bed at night thinking about my training, what I'm going to train the next week, what could happen in comps if I do it this way, if I come this place, and I get nervous. Like I sit there in bed, my heart rate increases, I get a little bit of butterflies, and then I'm just like, Michael, all right, yep, I thought about it. I'll think about that tomorrow. Put it out of your mind, but don't stress about oh no, I'm nervous. Oh no, I'm going to lose sleep. Oh my God. Just be like, oh yeah, I'm competing. Of course, my mind's going to be racing and stuff like that. I'm nervous. If you've got problems with performing on the day due to nerves, then it's something you can look into. I think that's really rare for that to keep happening and to happen all day at a comp, like all 4 or 5 events you're struggling. Normally it's just the first event, you're nervous before the first event. Everyone feels better once the first event's over. For me, because I'm great at the overhead events, most of the time I need to win the overhead event if I have to win a competition. So I'm extremely nervous until the overhead part's done. Most of the time the overhead is the second event of the day. It's very common for it to be the second out of 4 events. So normally after that event, even if I've come first or second, normally that's when I can relax into the day a little bit and feel a bit better. And that's just something I've learnt and I accept, and I don't try and fight it. I don't try and feel good leading into the comp. I get very quiet driving in the car. I'm tired most of the time in the car. I don't feel like chatting. I go to the toilet, I go number 2s before the comp. I remember one comp on the way to Ballarat, I did not think I was nervous at all because I hadn't really thought about it. Like the night before, stuff. I just remember thinking I wasn't nervous for this comp, and I did poos 3 times before we even got there. So that's how I know that I care and I'm nervous and there's things moving around and my body's just not quite at ease, right? But you don't panic about it. In America in 2017, I got 60 minutes of sleep before competing at Worlds, and I just remember being really tired and my eyes hurt, and panic almost set in. I'm not going to be able to perform. I was thinking, 60 minutes sleep is not enough. The night before, tossing and turning a little bit. Oh no, shit, fell asleep for 10 minutes and would wake up, or looking at the clock all the time. Almost let panic set in, but I've done enough comps to know that I'll perform, I'll do the best I can, and fighting it is going to make it worse. So if you guys have ever struggled to fall asleep, sometimes it's best just to accept it and just lay there saying, okay, this is how it is. That's all right. I'm going to get less sleep. I'm going to make sure it's quality sleep. I'm going to, take care of myself tomorrow. Blah, 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 blah. So don't let panic set in whenever you're, the night before a comp, at the comp, anything like that. I'm going to suggest, I'll put it out there, things like breathing techniques and remaining calm. I just don't know if that will help everyone in the short term. That's something I think you really need to practice and be aware of, how you get the most out of your breathing and settling down and finding a place to settle. All I really wanted to suggest was not to fight the nerves. You might have shaky legs on the day. Sometimes I get shaky legs before an event or two. And I still manage to perform. It kind of sets in like you start the first rep, let's say on an AMRAP, and you realize it was hard and your leg's shaking and you can get in your own head. So you just have to trust your training. Remember that shaky legs doesn't mean that you don't have any legs or that they're not going to work. It's just nervousness. It's just a feeling. Try not to let it take over your body, because the panic can be much worse than any nervousness or any shaky legs. So accept the nerves, embrace the nerves, like being hungry before you eat or tired before you sleep. You're going to be nervous before you compete, and that's okay. I actually think it helps sometimes. I think if you care about something and you're a bit nervous, myself, and I've seen it in others, I've seen people in competitions and I've experienced it where you do something unheard of, or you do something more than what I believe you're capable of. Comp days bring certain things out of some people. Some people perform better than training, some people perform the exact same, and some people worse, or a mix and match, right? Some comps this, some events this. But I think nervousness plays a key role in the nervous system. Maybe that's got something to do with it. Nervous system. It has something to do with the nervous system, and I think if you learn to channel it, and you'll have to learn, I can't give you tips on how to channel it, I know how I channel it. Your nervousness can create extra strength, it can get an extra rep, it can create something. So instead of avoiding nerves, embrace them, accept them, and then eventually learn how to use them. I hope this can put your mind at ease. Sorry I don't have any tips. You can take 3 belly breaths, you can go for a walk outside and stare at the sun. There's probably drugs you can take for it. I wouldn't recommend doing that, because that's not going to help you long term. And drugs are going to deaden the feeling. I'm talking about like nerve blockers, or I don't know what else someone would take to help. But you don't want to stress the body out. You don't want to take anything. You just want to accept it, laugh it off, and learn from it. Learn how you can better deal with it next time. If it's at the point where it's affecting your performance on the day, and it's a regular thing, like if your first comp, you're a bit nervous and you stuff up, don't stress, it happens. If it's happening every comp, like a year from now, you've done 5 or 6 comps and it's still happening, well then you can start, talking to someone about it. Doesn't have to be me, I'm not a psychiatrist. Anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. It's okay to be nervous, it's good to be nervous, embrace the nerves, and just go have a good comp. Have fun, go stuff up. Whatever the worst thing that can happen is, it might happen, and you'll realize that it's not too bad at all. Life goes on, the comp goes on. Your life won't change regardless of what happens at this comp, most likely. So anyway, leave a comment below if you've got ideas on how to experiment with comp day nerves and stuff like that. And leave a comment if you've got an intro that I can use for the next video, because I racked my brain thinking about the intro for too long. All right, thanks, love you, see ya.